How is it possible for Mark Grayson to be one of the worst superheroes of all time while simultaneously having one of the best series of all time? Well, stick around and find out, because I'm finna rant. Yo, my name is AJ, and if you love to think deeper about movies, TV, and anime, you're in the right place. Because the only thing Invincible is good for is title cards.
Why is above the law?
Okay, so let me be clear, bro. Just to, be straight up with it. This is going to be a rant video. It's not going to be a whole bunch of editing. But I have to say this. When I say that the only thing good about Invincible is the title cards, I'm speaking strictly on the hero, not the show. You know what I'm saying? Because that was one of the first things that I really just enjoyed seeing every week was how they were going to incorporate his name. But Mark Grayson is trash, bro. I was just give it a buck. For him to be quote unquote this strong but always get embodied, it just defeats the purpose. And I get that is supposed to be, the gag of the series, I guess. But it gets to a certain point where I'm just bro, what are we doing? How are we still getting bodied like this, bro? And there's so many different examples throughout the whole series because for one, this video is mainly going to be speaking on season 3. So if you have not gotten to that point yet, you know what I'm saying, just beware. But just from the beginning of Mark even becoming a hero and getting his powers, essentially, this man has not had any focus on anything else other than wanting to be a superhero. This man wasn't really good in school. This man wasn't really, super into sports and all that stuff like that. He just knew yo, one day I'm gonna get my powers and it's finna be up. You know what I'm saying? And then when he finally get them, this man trash, bro. That's crazy to me, So that's one of the main points that I have about Invincible is that, he has not gotten better at fighting since he's, really begun. It's the same kind of issue I have with a lot of Superman stuff, is that it's all haymakers and speed blitzes. You know what I'm saying? No combos, no wombo combos. You got all the strength, but you still don't know how to fight. And in the second season, I was willing to give it to him. He's still learning. He doesn't have a whole lot of experience, but this man done fought a lot of strong people and got bodied a lot. And he still takes the same approach every single time. You know what I'm saying? So it's for one, for him to have all of the feelings about, the state of the world after he's had one of these epic battles, why don't you just do the more tactical thing and take this battle somewhere else where there's not a dense population? There has not been one instance. They'll go up high, super high in the sky and go up into the stratosphere or whatever and fight, but eventually they always end up in these cities. And it doesn't even have to be, conquest. It doesn't even have to be an Omni-Man fight. I'm just talking about your normal villain of the week type thing. You have no right to be trying to teach Oliver something you can't do yourself, bro. I know that Eve has been been a hero way longer than Mark, right? And there's the whole sibling rivalry thing where Oliver doesn't really want to listen to Mark at all. So there's that part to it, but listens to Eve, and I get that. That's funny, you know what I'm saying? But for your little brother to show more heart than you in these situations and be more rational than you in these situations, it's just bro, this man is literally the worst, And if you have seen my videos before, y'all know I usually do a very in-depth review style video, but it's gotten to the point where Invincible, I don't think I can do that right now. I feel I have to wait till it's completely over before I really dive into it. We've talked about it on the Wild Geek Show before multiple times, right? But because the story itself is so I don't want to say it's paced slow, but it's taken a long time for us to get here. And it's not a lot has happened, but enough has happened to where I'm bro, I need to figure out what the heck is actually going on before, I make any super harsh judgments. The only thing I know for sure is that Mark is no good, bro. He's not a good hero. And You know, they even brought that up in this season with Powerplex, but in a way that was like understandable, but also like kind of dumb, because, you know, Powerplex ends up becoming the thing that he hates, which is very poetic when you think about like just, you know, a series in general. But it's just like, yo, like Mark really be trying to talk these youngins down when it's like, no, like we're past talking, you know, and it ends up getting everybody hurt. So I get that this man be going through a lot, you know, because you feel like you got everybody telling you that you got all these powers and you have all this potential, but you can't access it, you know. And I think that has a lot to do with, you know, his training being cut short, because Omni-Man or Nolan, you know, was just like, you know what, like, nah, we need to act now. You know, I was gonna kind of walk you through this whole type situation, but it's like at this point, bro, like, what are we waiting for? You know what I'm saying? Like, we could take this place over now, you know. And that's before he had his whole, you know, character arc and transformation as far as like his mentality, and like, you know, the Viltrumite part of his brain is loosening, and like the human experience that he's had has tapped into, where it's like now it's like, yo, like, nah, like I really miss my family, you know. It's more to life than conquering other planets. So there's just a lot that, you know, goes into this show in general, but I think more so for me, the biggest thing has always been the fact that Mark just keep getting body, you know. And I don't mind if it's like a scenario like such as like with the dragon, where there's actual like plot devices that prevent him from beating said character or said villain. But when it's just like we boxing, I'm just like, bro, like, what are we doing?
If you just do stuff and nothing happens, what's it all mean? What's the point?
Now, if you've made it this far in the video, you clearly love talking movies, TV, and anime. So comment down below, lock in, so I know that you're a true superstar. Oh, and also let me know what you would rate Invincible season 3 out of 10. From what I was saying earlier about like how, you know, it's crazy that Mark is like the worst superhero of all time, but his show is great because they do the character development justice in this show. Rex's like whole character arc from beginning to end was just like a steady growth of just like him becoming more, you know, more of a real person, and like not so much just like I'm a hero, I can do whatever I want type of energy that like he had before, you know what I'm saying, which is why everybody hated him initially. But now it's like, no, like we really seen him grow once he actually had to deal with the problems that he had, you know. And Mark has been kind of stuck, like he's been stunted essentially, and I think it's stunted in a way that's like, this is on purpose. So like for everybody to be hating on Mark right now, it makes sense. I have not read the full omnibus and comics and stuff like that, or it's called something else, not a comic, but it's like, you know, graphic novel. I think that's what it is. So I don't know what's going to happen in the future, but obviously everything that has happened till now has been, you know, building up. And for him to have like a Batman complex, where like a no kill complex no matter what, does not make sense in this world for the types of villains and stuff like that he be fighting, because the level of like destruction that occurs on a week-to-week basis, it's like, yo, the United States might never recover, the world might never recover, you know what I'm saying? Because the Invincible War was nuts.
This is crazy, this is crazy, this is crazy, this is crazy.
I knew that this was coming because I had seen images like a long time ago of like all these different versions of Invincible before, but I was not prepared for what we had saw, you know. Even for them to have some of them lose was like, yo, this is crazy, you know what I'm saying? I think Angstrom is, as a villain, is like also very petty, you know. And it's weird that he would choose a team full of Marks from different realities or different universes and promise them the same thing and they all go for it. Obviously, you know, Mark is not the smartest in the bunch, but to know what they know and to go along with it is just like, it's very cool. Like, you know what I'm saying? like, it's very cool in the sense of like, yo, this is a crazy thing to add into a story, but like, I don't get how he like found these marks as far as like, is the mark from this universe the only good one ever? You know, I don't know. Like, obviously there's a lot of bad apples, but it's like, yo, what happened to them? Like, we got little pieces of like their backstories and stuff like that, or like just little character chunks of what makes them different. But it's just crazy to think about. And it's like he wants to ruin not only his reputation but his legacy. And when I say his, I'm speaking about Invincible's legacy. And I get that aspect of it, but it's like, if you still can't beat him, what's the point? You know, like, people already feel a way about Invincible regardless of like, you know, the Invincible War or not. Just what happened in Chicago was enough for people to question and create villains like Powerplex. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, there's only so much that you can do. It's not like we have a poll to see like who's rocking with Invincible and who's not and stuff like that. Like, yeah, like, we get that, you know, Invincible is a hero and he no longer works with Cecil, which is a whole other thing that we have to talk about too. No longer works with Cecil. So he's doing his own thing. He got his own contracting business with the jail and stuff like that. So he's making moves, right? But for this to be like the plan, it's just like, yeah, I'm not really seeing it. I get that how petty it is, but I'm not really seeing like how this is like what you do after getting beat up like that, you know? And speak of beating up, bro, and Angstrom, right? This man Mark was moping and sobbing for so long thinking that he killed Angstrom, and he didn't even do it. He didn't even finish the job, bro. And it comes back to bite him, right? But what I don't understand is like at this point now, he says like, I get it now. Like, next time anybody does anything to people I love or whatever, like, I'm gonna know when to take them out. Essentially, like him Oliver was already with that. You know what I'm saying? He did them twins dirty. Like, he did them super dirty, like, immediately. And for Mark to just now be coming to this conclusion of like, yo, some people can't be saved in this type of world. I'm not talking about just like this is how it should be or anything like that, but just finally coming to that solution after all the people that got hurt in between. It's like, man, it might be a little bit too late. And then you still spend all this time moping about something that didn't even happen, right? And the point I'm getting to is essentially he still didn't finish the job of conquest. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, if that happened to me, if I beat somebody senseless like that, you know, matter of fact, let me take myself out of it, like, because that's weird, right? But if I know that I, as Invincible, beat Angstrom to where like his, like, you know, stuff is everywhere, and he still was alive and came back, I'll have to take a little bit more assurances than just telling Cecil, somebody I don't even trust, to burn the body. You know what I'm saying? Like, because if that don't take him out, I don't know what will. You know, so, and there's another thing too that they never really address in the show, and this happens in a lot of cartoons and stuff like that, when, you know, youngins be getting beat up, right, and then they be losing their teeth, and then their teeth be back in the next scene or the next day as they heal, essentially. And I'm just like, yo, they never really like address that. You know, I get you having a new suit all the time, but not necessarily like you regrowing your teeth, you know, because that's like this is a very gory show, so it's like, it makes sense that, you know, for them to lose teeth if they bleed and stuff like that crazy. So it's like, I don't know, but I just thought it was kind of weird. I didn't ever really address that. Now, as far as like the conquest fight in general, like, I think that joint was fire, bruh. Like, animation was going crazy. And then for the plot armor essentially to be Eve making her comeback and then giving Mark a chance to win, I was like, dang, I forgot that she can even do that. You know what I'm saying? Because it's been so long since I watched the special that I was like, bro, Eve is really like that. Like, Eve is way more powerful. Eve might be more powerful than Mark, like, just for off of, you know, makeup and just like, you know, what you're able to do. Because yes, Mark can heal pretty fast, but it's like, you can't regrow limbs. You know what I'm saying? Like, yes, he can heal broken bones and stuff like that, but it's like, yo, that's really it. And speaking of that, other thing I want to talk about was Immortal, bruh, because Immortal had a whole future arc and stuff like that, along with him announcing he and the Multiples girl was, you know, finna get married and have kids and retire together and stuff like that. And I just want to say that as much as I don't rock with Invincible, I don't rock with Immortal even more, bro. Like, I've never liked his character, like, from the jump. Like, just because it's like, what's the point of being immortal if you're just getting beat up all the time? You know, like Invincible is a joke in itself because he's very, I guess, vincible. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's like very kiddish of a name, but to be called Immortal and just like that be your thing, that be your shtick. Like, yeah, I can't die, but I can't win either. It's just like, bro, what are we doing then? You know? And that's what there's another character like that, Bulletproof. What's the point of being bulletproof, bro? At this point, he ain't got to do nothing yet, you know? And I think the most egregious thing, though, out of all the stuff that I talked about in this video, you know, and it's just this is a rant. I might start doing this with like certain shows that I just, you know, don't really know how to form into words just yet, as far as like I want to do just a regular review on it. I just kind of want to talk. Is you know, Rudy, bro, you know, going to Rex's funeral, and I don't. Rex is the dog, right? Like, I rock with Rex now, but going to Rex's funeral and saying all that he had to say and then just adopting his name. I get that you're a clone and you'll grow up to look just like him, right? But there's no way you just take his name like that as a memory. No, bro, you're Robot. Like, that's your name, Robot Rudy. Why do you need to take Rex's name? Like, y'all didn't even bang with each other like that, for real. Like, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, everybody was just like, yep, exactly. That's the perfect thing. You know, you're Rex now. I'm just like, no, I'm not. I don't like it. Not at all. So if they change his name in the next one, I mean, it is what it is. And I get that it was for the moment, but that was whack to me. That was super weird. And what makes you think that Rex would have wanted that in the first place? You know what I'm saying? So that's tough, bro. That's tough. Is there anything else that I wanted to say, bro? Because it's just been a lot. I can't believe that is over. I think for me, just to speak on the show itself, I care a lot about the characters. I care a lot about the story. I wish we could have got to see Nolan and Alan make their return in this season, but it makes sense that, like, they can't travel, you know, that far that fast, and they don't even know that the war is coming. But with the idea that there's you know, only like 50 Ultramites left, they all finna be coming to Earth, essentially, is like, bro, how could this get any more crazy? You know, because obviously a lot of these youngins can't, like, yes, they took out some of the Invincibles, but it's like, yo, I don't know how much more the planet can take, bro, you know? And I get that, like, the Alliance will be something that they can rely on, but it's just like, yo, is Cecil even going to rock with that? You know? Oh, and even Cecil getting the doctor or whatever to make the robot Invincibles. It's like, okay, are they going to still have the same strength or mega strength now? And how is Mark going to react to that? Because even Mark in Cecil's whole argument arc, I was rocking with Cecil the whole time, because Mark doesn't make sense. Like, Mark's rationale, whatever. A lot of times, like, it's just like, bro, you can't see the bigger picture, you know. And then after seeing Cecil's backstory in this season too, it changed my mind on Cecil a lot as well. And it's just like, yo, like, we might not like his methods, but it's like he's still in the best interest of the planet, essentially. And, you know, it got to the point where Mark was so down bad, he was calling out for Cecil, like, yo, I need your help, bro. I need your help. And he was not there, not in time, at least. You know, like, just a whole bunch of other stuff going on. And I don't understand, bro. It's like, I get that if, you know, Conquest is only fighting you, you're the only one that can get hurt. But if you don't have a plan to win, why wouldn't you want help? You know, like, I get Oliver, because that's your little brother. You know what I'm saying? I get Eve because that's just shorty doo-wop. But it's like, yo, you need to get more strategy in your game plans, bro. Like, you have to start thinking more about how you're gonna fight, because just breaking your own limbs, trying to hit as hard as you can, is not the answer, bro. He was boxing. I'm not gonna act like he wasn't boxing, but it was just like, yo, the joint is not working. You know, Eve had to soften him up a little bit, you know, before they open that can, bro. So that joint was crazy, bro. Still 10 out of 10 show, but Mark is like a 2 out of 10. Like, bro, is literally the worst, bro. So let me know what y'all think in the comments, bro. I'm curious to see how y'all feeling after the end of Invincible. I'm gonna be doing another podcast with Chris on this series, so I'm excited to hear his thoughts as well on the Why I'm Geek show. If y'all have not checked that out, please do. But that's all I got for Invincible, man. If you enjoyed this rant, here's another video that we think you would like. But before you go, make sure you hit that like button, hit the subscribe button so you don't miss another one of my weekly videos. And I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace.